I love how in the Netherlands they always start the day off with a strong breakfast. Hello everyone. Today we will need the extra strength because we are going to do a lot of walking. We are traveling out to Keukenhof, which is a botanical garden about an hour south of Amsterdam to see the flower exhibition. We will talk a little bit about what that is later, but first we need to travel. The starting point was at the Amsterdam Exhibition Center, so we took the metro out to the edge of Amsterdam where the buses were there to take us out to Keukenhof. It is Monday morning and we're trying to get to the metro. It's interesting, they have these flat elevators. I think it's because they have bikes and scooters and stuff here. Still on our way to see the tulips. And now we're at some kind of convention center. Welcome badge picket. I don't know what kind of convention they're having here. Something about home stuff, I think. But we're looking for the 52 bus. When you get out, we found out you have to look for these big signs that say K-Buzz. And that's going to take us to the train. Oh, and there's the train right now. So I think it's about an hour for the bus, yeah. Bus train. It's going to be about an hour. Depending on where you go, there could be a really long line. The season for the flower exhibition is short. It only runs 8 weeks from mid-March to May. You have to reserve your tickets online. The trip out to the flower exhibition is an hour south of Amsterdam. When you get out of the city center, you can see some of the interesting architecture of the more modern buildings. This is the morning traffic into Amsterdam. I guess traffic jams are universal these days. Once we got out to Keukenhof, the scene changed dramatically to a little Dutch village. It was fun. You could see modern building and then you would see a very old building. They just kept on alternating. No street lamps in the village, just a bunch of roundabouts to control traffic. The town was busy when we were there, but I imagine when the flowers are not in bloom, the village gets really quiet. Okay, we got to Keukenhof Park. There's definitely a lot of yellow flowers. Hoping there's more than yellow flowers, but we don't know. We're kind of early in the season, we've been told, so we'll just see what there is to see. We bought 2 combo tickets that were 77 euros for the 2 of us, for 2 adult combo tickets. And that included the ride from Amsterdam out here and the entrance, and I don't think they include anything else. Except we also paid an additional 20 euros for 2 boat tickets, but that was separate than the entrance ticket. Okay, we're in the park. And basically, it's a park with lots of flowers. We hear like what sounds like a merry-go-round, so maybe there's a merry-go-round here somewhere. But I think the idea is that we're just supposed to look at the flowers. We got a map, so we'll probably check that out too. Turns out there's more than just yellow flowers. There's different ones here. We're not exactly sure where we're going. We're just kind of walking around. Somewhere we need to find the boat tour because we have boat tour tickets. Of course, all the lawns and everything are very well manicured here. I think we're one of the first people to the park today. We don't really know where we're going because the map is in Dutch, and we don't speak Dutch. But this says Orange Nassau, so I'm guessing that means that the flowers over in this pavilion are going to be orange. But we'll find out when we get there, I guess. It says Orange Nassau Pavilion. We were greeted with orange flowers, but it turned out this building was showcasing flower arranging skills. Smells really good in here. Kind of like going to a county fair, but it's a corporate fair with lots of flowers. As you can see, Netherlands has a lot more than just tulips. The Netherlands has the perfect conditions for flowering plants and grows thousands of varieties of flowers. Most of the time they don't want you to touch stuff, but here they do. Looks like we're in the roses section. Says, like flowers behind a velvet curtain, true beauty blooms when you dare to open. Okay. And now apparently we're in the purple section. It's very disco in here with disco balls. It's intense lavender smell in here. Found a merry-go-round. Used to merry-go-round for flowers.
Yeah.
Some cool cherry blossom trees here. They're out in full effect. Looks like there's a little zoo here, and they look pretty sleepy. Sheepies.
Do not feed the animals.
Okay, don't plan on it. These animals are just chilling.
Yeah.
There's some baby animals there. Some baby sheepies. How are the pigeons unique, AJ?
They're a special breed. Apparently they're called helmet pigeons.
Helmet?
They got that little coloration on their head. It's like a bald eagle, but for pigeons.
Okay. Well, they're just chilling. They're like, who are you? Do you have food? No? Then you're boring.
I mean, you're not allowed to bring food.
Yeah. But they do have helmets.
But yeah, you can read it down there.
Okay. Not really, no. We're gonna go through the maze. Maybe we'll find the Goblin King in here.
David Bowie.
I don't know. I'm following you. If you get lost, it's all you, AJ.
That's what I'm not kidding. Yep, already.
We might not. This might be a longer day than we thought it was. I think we might make it to the fort. Yep, we made it to the fort area. Now we got to figure out from there where to go. Okay, well there's the maze. Can't even see the people in there. But your reward is you get to come out here. You can take a selfie out this way. So we made it up to the top here, and we were rewarded by a view of all the tulips. Yep. At least some of them. Well, from up here we found out that there's a shortcut. We could have taken that way. Oh well, now we know.
That's not fun.
AJ overlooking the tulip fields. It says here that basically the work for the tulip fields goes all year round. They have to sort them during the summertime, and then they plant them during the winter, and now during the spring they start to come out. Over there they have a windmill from 1892. Windmills, of course, were the powerhouse of Holland before there was electricity. From the windmills that could do anything. Some of them were used for carpentry, others for granaries, or for dams. They just did a lot of things back in the day. Looks like over there you can do a photo op with the boat, with the flower boat. We got a little village with thatched roofs and stuff here, and you can take a picture inside of a shoe. Want to take a picture inside of a shoe, AJ? If you get hungry from all the walking, you can stop for what's called a stroopwafel. It's basically a very thin waffle that they cut in half and put Nutella in the middle. After the stroopwafel, we decided to climb the windmill. We made it to the top of the windmill. You can feel like from Sancho Panza. If I turn the camera around, you can see everybody from up here. Oh, you can see a big purple streak from here. That's pretty cool. And obviously you can't go all the way around.
Because, you know.
You get whacked by stuck on one of those things.
Yeah, they're not.
The view from the windmill was nice, but it was soon time to go on a boat ride through the canals. Okay, now we're gonna do a little boat ride. Reminds me kind of like the storybook canal ride in Disneyland, but bigger. And you can see the motor on this boat. Is it an animatronic duck?
Sounds duck.
It's got an interesting head. The boat ride was about an hour long, and it had an audio track in 4 different languages that taught you how Amsterdam controls 60% of the world cut flower market. I didn't realize how much money there was to cutting flowers, but apparently the Netherlands makes about $1.6 billion a year in flower sales. The canals are pretty big. The skipper was saying that in the winter the canals freeze, and then he likes to go ice skating on the canals. They circulate a field so that it can rest, and that one over there is currently in a rest period. The guy said that the plastic over there is so that the bulbs don't get eaten up by the birds, and there's a bird right there trying to eat a bulb. There's at least 2 of them over there. They're looking for, I guess they're looking for a hollow spot to get into a bulb.
Yeah.
Looks like we're gonna go in the tunnel. The bridges are kind of low. You have to duck or basically get knocked out. We decided to duck. Okay. Over 8 million bulbs are grown, with the majority of them being sent overseas. In this red patch, they were making new species of tulips. It is a celebrity thing to do for rich people. For example, there is a Beckham tulip named after the soccer player. As you can see, we were there during this daffodil season, but there was also hyacinth flowers. There's a crazy story about the hyacinths. Apparently, hyacinths and Apollo used to hang out together in the ancient Greek world. Apollo, however, was a god and really didn't know how his own strength affected him. One day, Apollo threw a discus out in the air so hard it split the clouds. Hyacinths tried to catch the disc, but he couldn't, and it hit him on the head and killed Hyacinth. The blood that came out turned into the hyacinth flower, and that, according to the Greek legend, the blood that came out turned into the hyacinth flower, and that, according to Greek legend, is how the flower came to be. The different strips of flowers are mesmerizing. It was very peaceful, with a low hum of the motor and an occasional bird chirping. That bird right there is a special bird called an evith. Very interesting. Soon it was time for us to leave the boat and continue our walk in the park. There's definitely a lot more people here. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We're going to moonwalk. It's 11 o'clock and there's definitely a lot more people now. We just got off of our boat tour and we're now going through their little enchanted forest section. Earlier when we were coming through, the windmill was actually moving, but now it's not moving so much. There's not that much wind, so makes sense. On a little tour boat, in addition to a bunch of Greek stories, we learned that these are exhibition halls for different flower shops. And there's more than 8 million bulbs that are produced here. And basically you can look through all these bulbs and then you can buy one. Basically what it comes down to. Here, depending on how you grow it. The Dutch tulip doesn't even belong to Dutch.
Yeah, it's from Kazakhstan.
It's from Kazakhstan. That's what I learned. We learned that the tulip bulb originated in the Middle East. The word tulip is Dutch for funny Middle Eastern hat. You have famous ones, they said. And so this is One Direction, and then you have Bubblegum over there, and then you have Diamond Prince,
Purple Jaws,
and Christmas Gift, and Pink Flag, and Roman Empire.
How many times do you think about the Roman Empire?
Not as many as those flowers. Here you can actually buy a bulb, but the problem is we couldn't take them home if we wanted to.
Interesting the decoration they got.
Yep.
No water flowers.
Yep. Yeah, you just put them out and they'll eventually come out in the heat. For the most part, you can't import flowers to the Americas, but there are special bulbs that have certificates, and if you buy those bulbs, they are allowed in the Americas. Over here they have an orchid show. See all the orchids. We're trying to find the noise. I think it's getting louder this way. We heard this interesting music and we decided to follow it. Duck goose. I got this old-fashioned organ over here and it's playing La Vida Loca. From the back you can see how the organ works. There are wooden books with holes and a conveyor belt system pulls the songbook through the organ. The organ grinder was very friendly, and when he heard we were from the US, he decided to play New York, New York. I guess we forgot to tell him that we were from California. Oh well.
Pretty fun.
What was your favorite part?
I'd say the boat ride was my favorite.
I think I liked the organ the best. That was unexpected. So we had a fun time. What?
Didn't you get an album for that?
Yeah, I got a USB one.
Sweet.
It was 10 euros. It was cool. So now we're going to take the bus back into Amsterdam, and then we're going to go do a little self-guided walking tour in Amsterdam. It's very easy. Once you find the bus, it's very easy to get it here and back again. Now I just gotta find the stop with our bus. We hope you enjoyed this tour of the Keukenhof Gardens. It is a very seasonal activity in the Netherlands, but if you're there at the right time, I would highly recommend it.